Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2021-22 season. My name is Dan and today we are doing a Game Week 22 team selection for you guys, where I'm going to be showing you my transfer moves, my captain decision, as well as reflected on Game Week 21 to let you guys know how I got on last game week. So that's pretty much what's going on in this video. You guys are not going to be too happy with me about this one, I'm sure, but I haven't fully decided if I'm going to free hit or not. So this video is, again, like we did a couple of weeks ago, it's going to be a two-parter. So this video is going to be in a situation where I don't free hit, and then we'll do a part two where we will discover kind of what I would probably roughly do if I was to free hit tomorrow. So guys, make sure you are subscribed if you haven't done already so you don't miss that next video, and of course please do like the video as well if you enjoy what you see today. But without further ado, let's have a look and see how I got on in Game Week 21, and I'm pretty excited to share this with you guys, let me tell you that. So, Game Week 21 is a big one because, again, I've hit the peak of my FPL existence, really. I mean, maybe it's all downhill from here. Maybe we can push it a little bit further. But we are up to 28th in the world. I don't even know what to say. I'm so hyped. I'm so gassed. I'm so just buzzing right now at this rank. I never thought I would ever be this high. I mean, what are the chances? You know, what we at, like 9 million FPL players right now? It's absolutely incredible, and I feel so privileged, so lucky to be in this position. It really is. It's just amazing. It really is amazing. So I'm going to just ride the high whilst it lasts, and hopefully we can, I don't know, stick roughly where we are from now to the end of the season. But if we don't, you know, it's been good while it lasts. That's for sure. So, but yeah, I'm feeling really happy to be 28th in the world. Still, all of my chips still intact. Haven't used any chips yet. So, I mean, it's just a phenomenal position to be in, and I couldn't be happier. I really could not be happier. It's incredible. It really is incredible. But yeah, guys, really good scores from multiple players. I think the big standout player was, of course, Jared Bowen. On this channel, we've put a lot of confidence in Jared Bowen, haven't we? We are big Bowen fans over here. So we did go for him as the captain, and we saw what he could do. We saw exactly what he could do. And in that Norwich game, oh my word, guys, you guys who saw that game will know that Bowen could have honestly had 4 goals in that game quite easily if it wasn't for, you know, goals being disallowed. Yeah, absolutely crazy performance. He played so well again, and he's constantly proving that he is the best FPL asset when it comes to West Ham. So really, really pleased with that. A few other decent performances as well. Antonio obviously did quite well. Broja scored a nice goal, which was nice. Son came up trumps with an assist there, and Dawson as well. Didn't get much in the first game for West Ham, but that second game, Dawson was obviously my new transfer in for the game week. I wanted to go for a nailed-on double game week defender. That's exactly what we did. And yeah, Dawson managed to get a clean sheet, at least in the second game, bring them to 7 points. Lloris as well. Clean sheet, couple of bonus. Absolutely phenomenal stuff overall. So yeah, 94 points. Really, really pleased with that, despite having left 6 points on the bench with Alonso. Who saw that coming? There we go. But yeah, just really, really happy with where we're at right now. And yeah, just basically now is a situation where we see how far we can go before we inevitably drop off. What is the peak we can get to? What's the highest rank we can possibly achieve at the end of any given game week? So let me show you what I'm going to do to try and push it to the next level in game week 22, assuming that I don't use a free hit. So we've got 1 free transfer, we've got 3.9 in the bank, so quite a lot of money to play with actually. I'm just going to go through all the players that we've got, and then we'll talk about some transfers that I quite like to make, the players that I'd like to bring in for this game week. And I'm going to start you off in goal with Lloris. That's just who the goalkeeper I've had for a few game weeks now. A goalkeeper I kind of picked up in partly due to knowing that there would be thought there was very likely to be a Spurs double game week this week. I thought that would be a really good player to go for. So yeah, Arsenal and Leicester, arguably not the best fixtures to go for a defensive player. You know, although Spurs have actually got the best defensive record of recent weeks under Conte, we do kind of feel like part of that is because they have had relatively easy games. So keeping a good defensive record has been quite easy for them, I suppose. But Arsenal, Leicester, 2 games where we know there could potentially be goals, particularly that Leicester game. There's often a lot of goals in the Leicester versus Spurs game. Arsenal game, big derby match. Arsenal obviously in very good form, at least in the league right now, right? So yeah, who knows what's going to happen, but I'm not fully convinced about clean sheets in this game, to be honest, which is yeah, no, not a concern. I mean, Lloris, he's still going to, he's going to face some shots. He's probably going to make a few saves, and if there is a clean sheet, then obviously in a double game week, all you need is 1 clean sheet really and you suddenly got a really good score on your hands. So yeah, I still think he's one of the better goalkeeper choices for the double game week, but not necessarily the best one, if that makes sense. Moving on into defence, we have got Trent Alexander-Arnold, home game against Brentford. Now this is one of those players that, double game week or not, it doesn't really matter. Trent will outscore double game week players even when he's on a single game week. He's done it so many times this season. We know how creative he is. We know he takes the odd shot. And we know Liverpool are actually pretty good for clean sheets, particularly against a team like Brentford, who are kind of struggling at the moment. Let's be real. They're not doing too well. Tony has completely dropped off, like trolling a lot of you guys, I'm sure, who do own Tony in your team. And Bumo, he's not necessarily a fantastic finisher either. So where the goal's going to come from Brentford, we don't really know. Trent as well being there, he's going to have to maybe pick up a bit of the slack. Salah and Mane there is actually going to negatively affect Trent, particularly if he's putting those crosses in and stuff like that. Is there going to be anyone on the end of those crosses? I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see how Liverpool actually fare without some of these players. But certainly, I would still be very confident about Trent getting a very good game week score, just because the fixture is good. The fixture is very, very good, and we know what a phenomenal player, phenomenal FPL asset he is. Arguably one of the best FPL assets that I can ever remember having. Had to have a defender with all of this in their game. That's why he is the most expensive defender of like all time in FPL. Maybe there's been one player maybe John Terry was a little bit more like 15 years ago. But certainly in recent memory, Trent is just the king of FPL defenders, right? Moved on into Cancelo, another, I guess, king of the defense in FPL, I suppose. Maybe not to the level of Trent, but Cancelo's been a blessing this season, really. He hasn't really scored insane points for a few game weeks, has he now? So, is this game against Chelsea going to be tough? I think so. I do think so. Obviously, Chelsea really do need to get some results now. They're coming off the back of some not amazing form. They need to try and get properly back into the swing of things and show that they're still there for a title challenge. And if they're going to do that, they're going to have to put up a good performance against Man City. So, not sure how this game is going to go. To be honest. I do still think City will win. I do think City have got a good chance of keeping a clean sheet. But is it guaranteed? I don't know. I don't know if it's guaranteed, but I still do think Man City will win this game. Maybe some of you guys will have some different opinions on that one. Cancelo, is he going to do much in this game? I feel like, if there isn't a clean sheet, maybe it's like a 1-1 draw or a 2-1 to City or something like that. Am I confident that Cancelo is going to be in the points? Not massively, to be honest. But he's usually good for points, and you never know what's going to happen with a player like Cancelo. He really is that good. And then finally in defence, we've got Alonso, who's a pretty decent double game week player. To be fair, pretty happy with that. I know Man City away is a tough game, but that Brighton game is something that we can be a lot more confident in. Even though Chelsea have not been the defensive masterclasses that we kind of perhaps seen earlier on in the season and last season as well. We still do think that the Chelsea do have a very good chance of keeping a clean sheet against a team like Brighton, right? Because Brighton typically do not score a lot of goals. So, Alonso, particularly if he could potentially get another assist, he gets a lot of assists, doesn't he? He's on set pieces. He plays very high up the pitch. He always has that potential for a goal. You see him shooting a lot in the opposition's box as well. So, you never really know. So I do think Alonso could be a fairly decent shout, even if, like we saw against Liverpool, where Chelsea kind of conceding a couple of goals, Alonso still managed to find himself on the score sheet in terms of goal contributions anyway. So yeah, that's kind of what Alonso can offer. Is he going to play both of these games? I don't know. He got a rest. He got a rest in the League Cup, didn't he? So maybe that's a kind of a point in his favour. Don't know. But I do think he is a really good pick for the game week. So actually one of the few players, obviously Lloris is a pretty good double game week player. Trent is a pretty good double game week player, even though he's got a single game week. Alonso, again, a pretty good double game week player. So if I'm looking at just these four players, I'm thinking there's no need to free hit at all. That's not bad. I don't mind that at all. Up the pitch is kind of a little bit more mixed. Some players I really like, some players I don't, but let's just go through them. We've got Raheem Sterling. This is actually a player that I like. And, if I was to free hit, Maybe I even keep Sterling, which is kind of makes me say, is there any point in me personally free hitting? Some of you guys who own Sterling as well, maybe you're going to feel some confidence in Sterling as well. Obviously, there's no Mahrez now. He's gone off to AFCON. We don't know if Foden is going to be available or not for this Chelsea game. Chelsea are kind of going to be lacking Mendy. They're already kind of conceded far more goals than they would perhaps like, and now they're also going to be losing Mendy. So is this actually going to be a really good opportunity for Sterling, who has been one of the best performing players in terms of statistics, shots, passes, stuff like that. Sterling has been one of the highest performing players in the Premier League over the last, 5, 6, 7 game weeks. Particularly particularly when we're thinking about when he starts. When he starts, he's just an absolute beast, isn't he? So, yeah, a player I really like, a player that I'm pretty confident about for this game week, to be honest. It doesn't worry me at all. I mean, I feel there's a good chance of him starting, and I feel like there's a good chance of him getting on the score sheet as well. Genuinely. We have got Son now. This is a problem area. Another player I brought in a few weeks ago as my Salah replacement, and this was one of the game weeks I was thinking, yeah, Son, potential double game week in 22. That could be really nice. Potential double game weeks in future game weeks as well. Could he be the answer to all our midfield prayers? Obviously, we know that he is injured now, so he is not going to be that answer to our prayers. What do we do? We're going to have to sell him, aren't we, realistically? I can't really see a situation where you could keep him. He's going to be out for a couple of game weeks at least. And he's not even going to return to training until the international break. So, yeah, it's a situation where I think we just need to kind of sack off Son, to be honest. Particularly if we want to target some other big players for the double game week. Son is going to have to be a make weight in that. So don't expect him to be in the starting lineup come the end of this video. That's all I'm going to say. We've got Jota against Brentford. Again, decent fixture for Liverpool, really good fixture, and with no Salah, no Mane, Jota kind of feels like he's going to be the main man. He feels like he's going to be the main man, particularly when it comes to goal scoring. Liverpool are going to rely on Jota to get those goals. They're going to feed him with a lot of chances, and he's going to be the key man in their attack. And with Firmino potentially playing alongside Jota, is that going to benefit Jota? I really feel like it could do. It could be a really good combination and really help out Jota. If Firmino's passing, creating space for Jota, could be really incredible. So even though you kind of say, okay, Jota is lacking the major players around him, is Firmino could he potentially be just as beneficiary? I don't know if that's a word. Is he going to benefit Jota as well as much as perhaps a Salah playing alongside Jota would, in terms of thinking about Jota purely? There's a real potential there. And finally, Bowen, the man, the myth, the legend, the absolute hero, a player that we will never stop hyping up on this channel. Jarrod Bowen, home against Leeds. Leeds with one of the poorest defensive records. They're still lacking major players like Phillips in central defensive midfield. A couple of defenders still out as well. So, another really good opportunity for Bowen to go there and do the business. Again, if you were to wildcard and you didn't include Bowen, that would be pretty scary right now, because Bowen is huge right now. He's huge right now, and he's in such good form. And, I'm sure a lot of us are all appreciating him as a footballer right now, and just excited to see what he produces next, to be honest. It really is absolutely just so exciting. Moving up front, we've got Antonio, similar in Bowen, playing for a very good West Ham team. We know that although Antonio isn't the primary attacking threat at West Ham anymore, and hasn't really been since kind of game week 4, he still seems pretty good, and he still seems like he's coming back into a little bit of form. He scored a couple of goals now. He's creating, even though he's dropping a little bit deeper, he is still creating stuff as well. Antonio is looking much better now than he was maybe 4 or 5 game weeks ago. So he is still a really good pick. Not Bowen level, but who can be Bowen level anymore? Bowen is basically at a premium at this point, right? Or he feels like one anyway. And Antonio is, he's just an okay player for his price. He's just a decent player for his price, really. And good fixture again against Leeds. So, you wouldn't doubt that Antonio could do something in this game. We've got Dennis. Double game week. We're happy with Dennis, aren't we, guys? Arsenal and Leicester are Arsenal and Leicester are not the two fixtures. The two fixtures are Burnley and Newcastle. Don't know why I said that. Burnley and Newcastle are the two fixtures for Dennis. So 2 really nice fixtures. We know that Watford have the best fixtures of any double game week team. The problem is they're Watford. So who are we realistically going to go for out of those Watford players? Dennis, King. Outside of that, you do get into the punt territory, don't you, really? So, I think we'll be pretty happy with Dennis. He's one of those players that you definitely do want for this game week. And if you can't get Dennis, you're probably going to be a little bit worried. You're probably going to be a little bit worried about not only Dennis this week. Let's just see if he can, stick to the form that he was showing a few weeks ago, because he was on absolute fire. And if he can't go and play at AFCON, he can't play for Nigeria, you may as well just have a blinding season back here in the Premier League, and maybe as a little bit of compensation for that situation for him. And then finally, we have got Broja up front, who is potentially injured, got a little head injury. I don't know exactly what the situation is there yet. I'm sure we'll find out or get some better idea of whether he's going to be available. On the other hand, we know that Armstrong and Che Adams, they're both available for Southampton now, so there is a lot of options up front. Redmond as well. There's a lot of options for Southampton to play as their forwards at the moment, so I don't know, maybe Broja has that kind of rotation risk. And on top of that, look at these fixtures, guys. Wolves away, we know that's a super tough fixture at the moment. Man City, Spurs and Man United are all difficult fixtures, and I would arguably say that they're all red fixtures as well. So this is a really poor run of fixtures for Armando Broja, to be honest. So not too happy about that one, to be honest. Let's go to the bench quickly, guys. Foster, maybe almost fit. He's in training now. He's in full training. You know, he could be back for this game week. Is he going to come straight back in this team ahead of Backman? I don't know. Backman played actually pretty well the other day, so yeah, I'm not sure he's going to come straight back in. We've got Dawson, home against Leeds. Not a bad option to have on the bench there. Smith Rowe and Tomiyasu, both doubts and playing Tottenham away, so not really ideal scenario for those guys. But yeah, Dawson's an okay backup who we could think about bringing in to the starting 11. But let's just do some transfers. So let me show you what I would do in terms of transfers. So if I was to make transfers, these were the moves I would be making. Broja and Son out, and we'd be bringing in Maddison and Ronaldo. These are the two players that I have my closest eyes on, I suppose. These are the players I feel like I'm missing a little bit. Maddison, just for the double game week, looks phenomenal. You know, this is a really, really nice double game week for Leicester players. Well, I say really nice. It's a pretty nice game week for Leicester, and, you know, particularly in attack. Even that Spurs game, I know we think of Spurs as a hard game. We do often find that Spurs versus Leicester is quite a feisty game, really. It's a really feisty game. So, you know, could be kind of interesting. Like I say, don't have too much faith in the Leicester defence, but certainly attack-wise, we could be on for something. And if anyone's going to get some attacking returns right now for Leicester, it's going to be Madders. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, Maddison's fixtures in the future don't look too good, but I don't think they look terrible. I don't think they look awful. I think they could be a lot worse, to be honest, and I wouldn't mind actually holding on to Maddison, you know, for a few game weeks. He's not a player that I'd be desperate to sell, despite the fixtures. I don't think they're it could be a lot worse, really, is all I'm saying there. And Ronaldo, I feel, is just a player that I'm really missing right now. I mean, for me, it was between kind of going for Kane or Ronaldo. Now, the only reason I'm kind of leaning towards Ronaldo at the minute is because Ronaldo's fixtures in this kind of next 5-6 game weeks, I do actually prefer to Kane's fixtures. So that's kind of why I'm leaning towards Ronaldo as a player to pick up now. We've got this double game week. You know, Ronaldo presents a really nice captain option for this game week as well. I think it's a really obvious captain option as well. His underlying stats look pretty good, and although Manchester United in general maybe are not performing to the best of their ability, again, I look at these fixtures and I think this is not too bad, really. The fixtures are not too bad. There's got to be goals in at least 1 or 2 or 3 goals for Manchester United over these couple of games. And who's going to score them? Well, I mean, probably Ronaldo. That's kind of how it works when you have Ronaldo in your team. If your team has got Ronaldo in it and it scores goals, it's probably Ronaldo that's scoring them. That's just how it works. And yeah, Ronaldo's underlying stats are just head and shoulders above, in terms of attacking stats anyway, are head and shoulders above anyone else at the club. And I do think he'll play both games. You know, he's had a little break now from football, and I think he does seem to be fit and available. And yeah, he's had that break. I think he's going to be a good pick for this game week. I really do. So yeah, that's kind of how I would line up, assuming no free hit. You know, I'm not certain if I'm going to use a free hit or not. I think just these 2 transfers, even though I had to take a -4 to do them, does actually put my team in a really good situation for the game week. So yeah, this is kind of what a situation I wouldn't mind lining up like this at all. And we've got a little bit of cover on the bench as well. Happy days, really. On captains, we would captain Ronaldo in this scenario. You know, we brought him in to captain him, really. And for vice captain, let's go for Maddison. Let's actually put the captain and vice captain on the 2 players we've transferred in. And you know what? If you are captaining and vice captaining the 2 players that you've just brought in for a -4, that does kind of make you say maybe the -4 is worth it, because look what I'm doing. Again, something I kind of said in other videos this week is, you know, if you are taking a -4, I don't think it's too much of an issue if it means that you can get in the players that you really want. Because me not taking a -4 would me be getting in maybe a Bruno or a Sancho, a player that maybe I like, but I'm not fully convinced by, in the same way as I'm fully convinced by Ronaldo. I'm fully convinced by that. I'm fully convinced by Madison. These are two players I'm really convinced by. You know, by taking that -4 to get the players I actually want to, rather than thinking, oh, I don't want to take a -4. I'm not confident enough. I'm confident in this. I'm confident that, you know, Son and Broja, Son not going to play, Broja potentially not going to play and has a really difficult fixture, and Madison and Ronaldo going to reward me instantly. Yes, they should more than make up for a -4 over the space of just one double game week. So, you know, that would be that cancelled out, and there'll be no problem whatsoever, and I think it would be two really good transfers. So, yeah, this is you know, the most likely scenario of me, of how I would line up if I didn't use a free hit, which I might not, but I might. I don't know. I'll let you guys know tomorrow, I guess. But there we go, guys. That's the team. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, please do leave a like. Really, really appreciate it. And like I say, if you do want to subscribe, that would be wicked as well, because part 2 of this video, where we'll look at the scenario in which I do wildcard, you know, you'll see that. And if you want to see what my final decision as well, we'll obviously do that on a deadline stream on Friday, and that will be that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Do stay tuned for the part 2 of this video. That will most likely come out very early in the morning on Friday UK time, but hopefully you guys will still have time to watch that video before the deadline. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you in part 2. See you later, mates. Bye bye.